Hey guys, Hello Bella here, and in this video we're going to be going over some of my August sales. It is almost the end of the month and I've had some pretty decent sales. I've kind of gotten back to selling used things from the thrift store on eBay. I've sold on eBay on and off for about 10 years now, and I've sold on Amazon FBA and Merch by Amazon. So I've done a little bit of everything when it comes to online entrepreneurship, but lately I've been trying to build up my inventory to create a more consistent revenue stream so that I can begin to kind of build up my eBay store. So I'm going to go over things that have sold. I've got about 20 items for you guys. I'm going to give you the price that I sold it for, how much I paid for it, and what my overall profit was. And I went back and did these calculations, so it's as accurate as I can be. I usually tend to round up in what I paid for something and round down in profit just to be as conservative as possible. So let's get started. I sold this Lily Pulitzer for $64.97. I sent that as a best offer to a watcher. This cost me $12, and I usually don't pay $12 for anything at the thrift store, but Lily Pulitzer is just a brand that moves very quickly, and this was a maxi dress, so it's like a really sought after dress and pattern, and it was in wonderful condition, and so I wound up making $35 profit off of this. So if you see the Lily Pulitzer tag, the little pink tag, definitely make sure to check it out because it is a very sought after brand. It just has a weird cult following, and people wear it on vacation and to the beach. Next item is something that was actually mine. I bought this slime whenever it was crazy on TikTok, and I wound up selling it for $20. Now, I don't really consider things that are mine like having a buy cost because, I mean, obviously I bought it for myself. I didn't buy it to resell. So overall, I was able to get back $10 of my money from used slime. I just had to put this in here because it's just such a weird thing, and the person said that they were really happy with it. Now, these cost like $20 each when they're new, so being able to sell it for $20 for two used ones, I think was pretty good. And it's just like, you never know what people are willing to buy. Like I always think, man, nobody would ever buy that. And I'll kind of list it as a joke and then it'll wind up selling. Next item is this wool blanket. The brand is called Alafos, and this wound up selling for $70. I actually got this for $6.50. You can see that it's kind of reversible, so you can go back and forth to the different horse patterns. I just imagine that a horse girl bought this somewhere and that she's very happy with it. So it was $35 profit, and I gotta say, I think this is like the first blanket sale that I've had on eBay. The reason that I picked it up was because I felt the material when I was going through the blankets, and it just felt really high quality. I'm definitely a person who always likes to feel for wool and leather because those are some things that are just kind of timeless, and usually it's an indicator that the brand is selling for more money. So new brand to pick up. They also make sweaters, and this was, I guess, designed in Iceland. This one retails, I think, for about $100 to $150. So I mean, I'm pretty happy to get $70 out of it. Next item is this ink. I believe this sold in like one day. I got this for $5 at the thrift store, and it sold for $27.95. My profit on that was $11. So $5 and make $11, not too bad. This was actually, they put everything in those small bags and they hang them up on those hooks. This was in there, and for some reason, me and Daniel had just been talking about ink, and we were talking about liquid ink, and I was like, I don't think I've ever sold liquid ink. And then the next day at the thrift store, I saw it, and I was like, that is so weird when you talk about something and then you see it. I don't know what the name for that is, but I wish I knew because I'm pretty sure there's like a word for that. But anyways, if you know, you can let me know. All right, next item is this shower head. This came from a bin liquidation store. I paid $5 for this, and it sold for my full asking price of $39.95. It was open box, so I think on Amazon it goes for about $60. So I was pretty pumped to get $40. I did make $15 profit off of that. I've since learned that apparently you're not supposed to use stock photos for your eBay photo because you can get claims and people get mad about it. For this particular brand, I don't know that I would really be in the woods. I think it's more like Nike and bigger brands, but yeah, learn from my mistake and don't do that. All right, the next item is this Joseph Ribkoff sweater. I have no idea if I'm saying that right. This is what the tag looks like. It's usually, it's older lady clothing, not trying to be rude, but it's more of a mature brand. It definitely sells well for me. I've got basically $6 into this, and it sold for $43.95, and it sold in like a couple of hours. It actually sold to a person in Canada, and I was not familiar with them changing like the global shipping program. They're calling it something else now, but I think it's more or less the same situation where you mail it to one spot and then they handle it from then on. Even if you get a return, they still continue to handle it. So once you've made the sale, then you're done. And now that I think about it, I'm looking at this tag here, and it looks like this is a brand that is made from Canada. So maybe that has something to do with the fact that it's sold in Canada. But I think this might be one of those like QVC type of brands as well. The material was really interesting. It's a bright color. I just kind of look for things that are going to photograph well, because I'm like, if it's dull and like a bland color, it's really hard to sell it, because when you're selling on eBay, you're basically selling to someone with a picture on their phone. More than likely, a lot of people are shopping on their phone. So that's something I keep in mind when I'm buying stuff. But that was a $25 profit. So pretty good for clothing. I'm not the hugest fan of selling clothing, but it is, the majority of things at the thrift store are clothes. So being able to sell clothing is definitely going to pump up what I'm able to profit. So this bra is a goddess bra. I've never heard of this brand, but anything new with tags, I'm going to look up. This one was a 44 double D, which is like a bigger size. So that is also something that you want to look for. And it's pink. People like pink. And it sold for $21.77. I sent that offer to a watcher, and I paid $4 for this, and I wound up making a $10 profit. And I think it sold in about 2 weeks. So pretty good sale there. I mean, I definitely have sold quite a few bras in my lifetime. Bras are so expensive, and just, they can be $40, $50, even $100. And the bigger and the more complicated size you have, the more that you usually have to pay. So I'm definitely a big fan of selling these sizes. So this is a hair care product. This sold for full asking price, $18.74. The brand is AG Hair Care, and I paid $3 for this, and I profited $7. And this was one of the items that was in a bag with a bunch of other like lotions and stuff that was like $2.99 or something. So whenever I see those, I always look, because sometimes they'll accidentally put very high dollar stuff. I found some eyeshadows and blushes and Clinique stuff that does well for me. So definitely check those out. That's something that when I first started reselling, I was like, oh, that's all crap. That's all garbage. Why am I going to spend my time looking at that? But now, I've had really good luck with some old stock products, lotion, perfume, things like that. So I'm keeping my eye out for more of those. Oh my gosh, this was a flop. This sat forever. I've had this for months. It finally sold for $16.77. I would not buy this brand again. This is Roman's. To be honest, I wasn't really familiar with this brand. I mean, I know it's a pretty popular plus size brand, but in terms of resale value, it just is not great. And this is also before I got my new photography setup, so the pictures look like trash. So, I mean, obviously that's going to contribute to how much money you can get for something. But, I mean, it's got this cute floral pattern. It's a size 24. But yeah, I did not lose money, I would like to say, but I wound up making a $4 profit, and I'm not in business to be making $4 profit. So do not think I'll be picking up that brand again. All right, we've got more bras. This is a lot of 3 used bras. This is Lane Bryant Kashik. These are also 44D, and I got these for $2 each. The thrift store that I went to was having like a huge, I think it was a bag sale or like a really clearanced out kind of situation. And so I found a lot of stuff in there that maybe I wouldn't normally pick up, but since the buy cost was so low, I was able to get all of these for $6, and I sold them for $34.94, making a $16 profit. And, best case scenario as an eBay seller is I get to make a profit, and the person who buys my item gets to feel like they got a deal. Because, I mean, when everybody wins, you have happy customers, you have less of a chance of return and bad feedback. And so that's ultimately my goal, is to find products where there's enough margin to feel like I'm getting enough, the customer's getting a good deal, and everybody is happy in the end. All right, so Young, Fabulous, and Broke is the brand here. This is a new with tags skirt that I paid, I think, $5.99 for. And you can see the tag here. It's just kind of a little cursive font. This sold for full asking price for $29.95. It did take a couple of months to sell. I don't know that I would pick up this brand again. If I could get it for maybe $3, maybe, but like $6 is a little bit more that I want to pay. But I did wind up making a $12 profit off of that, but I can't say that I'm really impressed with how this brand performed. It's got some good comps, but I think it's kind of all over the place in terms of like different styles. All right, next up are these Allen Edmonds shoes. These are a size 6.5, so very small on the sizing. I wound up getting these for $2, and I sold them for $35 offer to watcher, and I profited $20, so pretty good there. I've been using my new light box to take pictures, and it makes a world of difference. Even though, you know, items are damaged and they have flaws, if you can show them the first picture that looks like this, I mean, you have so much more of a chance of attracting them to click on the listing. I've noticed that my eBay views have gone like, I think they changed the way that they count views. And so my views are so low. And so I'm just, you know, in that battle to get people to even click on the listing. So having that photography light box has really helped. All I do is take the picture and then I go in and remove the background. I don't remove it on every single image because I feel like it would take forever, but I'll usually remove it in the first 1 to 3 images. All right, so this is a Spanish learning set. It had some CDs and it also had some books, and it sold for my full asking price of $34.95. I paid $5 for it at America's Thrift Store, and I wound up making a $17 profit. So I'm definitely a big fan of selling like sets of books. It seems like they bring more money than just individual books, especially when it comes to like weird learning or something that's just kind of you can't really find anymore and you can't get access to it on YouTube or on the internet. It's just something that's pretty much only in that book and CD form is stuff that, you know, is kind of good to look for. But $35 sale, not too bad there. My next item is a Sack Roots. This is a little wallet slash purse. It basically is a brand that really has a good following. When I can't find purses at the thrift store, say everything is picked through, my next best option is to look at the wallets because a lot less people will be looking at those. This one was just a really interesting pattern, super loud, and I just knew it would sell. It was in like almost perfect condition. It really didn't look like it had ever been used, and it also doubled as like a little crossbody tote. So this one wound up selling for $22.47. I paid $5 for it and I made a $7 profit. So I probably could have waited for a full price offer and got a $10 profit. But I mean, honestly, lately I've been thinking about like what I want my business model to be and how I want to run things basically. And I don't want to become a storage facility. I mean, I don't want to be holding on to items for months for $2 or $3 more because it's just so much better to keep things moving and keep things flowing throughout your store. Okay, this is the cutest sale in August, I think. This is a little ceramic frog. He sold for $24.87. And I'm not gonna lie, I just bought this because I thought it was cute. And I was like, someone needs this. I paid $3 for it. And so my profit was $9. And obviously, I got a little creative on the photography. I put a sponge in his mouth because I'm like, they need to see what he's capable of. And it's just such a cute thing. I mean, my grandmother had one of these, my mom had one, and I've never seen a white one. Like, I didn't think that that was a thing, and especially not with the floral. So I'm trying to get more comfortable selling like ceramic and pottery type items because some of those sell for a lot. And if you use Google Lens, you can really find out pretty much what anything is. So I'm trying to go outside my comfort zone a little bit. Like I said, that sold for just under $25. So, I mean, you never know what people are willing to pay for stuff. This is a vintage swimsuit that was new with tags. The brand is Longitude, and it was a bigger size. It was a size 18, and it wound up selling for the full asking price of $39.95. and I only paid $3 for it. So towards the end of summer, my thrift stores will start clearancing out their swimsuits, so I can usually get better deals. Not saying that I'm going to sell swimsuits all winter, but I'll pick them up if they're new with tags. And so this profit was $25. So really good profit there. I mean, you don't really get massive profits on swimsuits, but I find that the vintage ones do well, especially when they have certain elements, like some of them will say like tummy shaper and things like that. And people definitely are looking for those old stock items that you just can't find anymore. And I hate to sound like a boomer, but I'm like, people just don't understand that clothing is not made the same way it used to be. Quality is not there. Like, if you want quality, you have to pay out the ass to get it. Like, it's almost at the point of like, I only buy used clothes pretty much. There's a few things I buy new, but I would say 90% of my clothing is used, because I just don't think that it's worth it anymore to go to the mall and pay like $40 or $50 for a top and it's just falling apart in like a year. Anyways, I don't mean to go on a rant. Okay, weird sale here. These are like Converse slip-on sandals. They sold for $65.95. I originally had them listed for like $79.95, and when sales are slow, if I don't get a sale for like one day, I'll have like a panic attack and lower prices on things. Probably shouldn't do that, but anyways, I was happy with the sale because I only paid $7 for these, and I wound up making a $40 profit. I think they took about 2 weeks to sell, and a lady on TikTok put me onto these. She had sold some Converse for like $400, and that got me thinking, like, what other Converse? So, I mean, when you're bored, you can just look up comps for certain brands and sort by price highest sold first, and then you can kind of see like what are the in-demand items and what do they look like, because these are actually pretty hard to find. These were a women's size 7, so pretty common size. That also helped them sell, but I've never sold Converse sandals before. I've never seen them before, but it's weird to me, once again, that I see it on TikTok, and then when I'm outsourcing, I come across it. So it really does pay to spend, a couple hours here and there doing research and watching. I'm not trying to plug my own content, but watching other people's sales, because when you see what other people are selling, it gives you ideas that you might not have necessarily had before, and it kind of makes you more aware. So we have a nightgown here. This brand is Miss Elaine, and this was a 2X nightgown, and it was new with tags. I did wind up selling this for my full asking price of $29.95. Looking back, I think I probably could have got a little bit more. I got that for $5, and so I had a $12 profit. Looks like I had maybe a promoted listing, or maybe it cost a little bit more to ship, because I feel like I should be getting a little bit higher of a profit there. You can see once again my photo setup. I definitely am trying to remove the background when I can. My lighting is not perfect, but I'm still getting there. I'm still learning about photography in terms of like clothing, but this is just an example of something that I did not know a thing about. I mean, women's nightgowns are not something that I ever really think about. I sleep in a t-shirt and a pair of like Nike shorts normally, but these are really popular. I guess people want the nightgowns that they used to have, and so I've been paying attention to these. And another good thing about it is that a lot of resellers who sell clothing don't necessarily look in the pajamas section, and so I've been finding things that aren't actually pajamas in the pajamas section, and so I've gotten like dresses from there that people hung up thinking it was a nightgown, and I've gotten some pretty good flips from the pajama section, and that was another one that I used to ignore. And it's just kind of funny to see all of these things that I used to not pay attention to, and now suddenly those are the things that I'm looking for. All right, one of my last sales, this was a pretty good sale for me because I went to Goodwill. The Goodwill we have is about an hour away, and they have a 99-cent tag that's like one color, and so this color was blue, and so I found this Willow reusable breast pump milk something. I don't know. I really don't know what it is, to be honest with you. It's something to do with breastfeeding, and it had not been used. It was new in the box, and I wound up selling that for $38.77, and I made a $25 profit. So really good there. I think I had it for about a week, and really happy. I didn't even consider offers, but people will send you offers even though you don't have offers turned on. Like, they'll message you and they'll be like, I want to offer $20, and I had that in this case, and I said, I'm sorry, I'm not accepting offers at this time, but I do send offers to watchers. If you're interested, watch it basically, and you might get an offer. But I don't know. It gets on my nerves, but there's little things in reselling that you just have to let roll off of you, because you're like, if I let this get to me, I'm going to spontaneously combust and I'm not going to be able to run my business. So, but anyways, yeah, that was a great sale. Let's go on to the grand finale here. This is the last item on this video. This is a thing that I guess I was not aware of was a thing. I mean, I know that Starburst pattern is really popular, this kind of sun-looking thing. And I knew that because of the material, I knew that I needed to look it up on Google Lens. I wound up figuring out that it was like a wall art piece, the Kurdish Jeer style birds in flight geese. So basically, I know nothing about it. I took good pictures. I tried to accurately describe the quality and the flaws. It wound up selling for a full asking price of $97.95. So, I mean, incredible, really. So having a sale of $97.95 was awesome. I only paid $5 for this. So, I mean, I feel like the thrift store, oftentimes they do mark up things ridiculously because they're just crazy, but there's often times where they don't know the value of something, and that's basically my job, is to find things that have value that they don't understand and then be able to get that and sell it myself. So my profit was $68, and that was a really good flip for me. It definitely put me on to looking at things that are metal and things that are wall decor, because that kind of stuff, the kind of stuff you might see at an antique mall or in a booth, things like that, you really just want to keep your eye out for. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video of things that have sold for me in August. I'm definitely getting my feet back into reselling. I'm trying to list at least 5 items a day. I think my major issue is going to be consistently finding a place to source. I recently went on a sourcing trip, so I'm kind of getting into that again, maybe doing a little overnight weekend trip every once in a while and going and just working all day. It is kind of tiring to do that. I wish we had some kind of bins around here, but we really don't have anything. We have a bin place in Nashville, which is like 2.5 hours from me, but I've never been to it. So if y'all have been to it, let me know how it is. I would be curious to find out if it's worth going and staying the weekend there to go to it. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this. If you got anything out of it, please let me know in the comment section below. I got to get back to listing because this was my procrastination way of not listing. So I will catch you guys in the next video. Take care, and I hope that you have great sales.